Hey guys, back again. Here I am with the BrickLink Designer Program construction site. This came out a couple of years ago and I've parted this out using BrickLink and using Rebrickable and other things, and I've pulled the parts mainly from my own collection and then a couple of BrickLink orders. I think it worked out to about £200 in BrickLink orders. About half I managed to pull from my own supplies. And yeah, I've been talking about this one since before Christmas. But here I am with it in all its glory. And before I place it in the city and show you that and where I'm going to put it, I thought I'd give you a close in-depth look, show you some of the changes I made and show you some of the features that this set has. Obviously these are my own opinions. I'm not paid for, I'm not brought in any way, shape or form. Lego don't own me. These are what I thought of the set and what I thought of it. And obviously this set currently new sealed in boxed is probably in the region of about £500. I'd never pay that for it. I don't think it's worth that. I don't think anything, I'll be honest, is probably worth in the region Lego wise of that price, and that includes things like the UCS Millennium Falcon and probably even the new Pokemon set, to be honest. I just no, too much. Sorry Lego, you've lost me here. Anyway, I'm going to take you through this set, show you some of the features. It is a modular, so it can break down level by level. I also want to show you some of the adjustments I made for pieces and parts, purely for financial reasons, and I'll explain those to you as we go. And then towards the end of the video I'll show you me putting this set into our Lego city, which obviously hasn't changed for a couple of months because I've been working on this, and then I might even give you a teaser of what our next few projects are going to be. I will tell you the next thing I'm going to be building is going to be the roller coaster from a couple of years ago that's been retired a while now. Not the loop coaster, the original roller coaster. I managed to pick this up on eBay a couple of weeks ago. I've gone through all the parts, I've checked they're all there. That's going to be the next thing I build. That won't go into my city. I don't have space for a fairground. I'd love one, but I just don't have the space. This will go into the city, and we'll show you that later. But first of all, let's take you through it, show you the set, show you some of the parts I adjusted, and give you a breakdown, and then I'll give you my thoughts on what I think about it, and then you can make your own mind up. Alright, take care, see you in a little bit. Ta-da. So the set itself is basically a large crane and a partially built skyscraper from the outside. There's some really cool features inside. The crane does have a working winch that you can use mainly to pick up the portaloo that you'll find here on the ground floor. This was hanging off mine. I just took it off for the video, and I'll just give you an idea. The inside is designed to be a toilet. Okay, so like all good building sites, you need a toilet. One of the changes I made with the minifigures on mine, I wasn't willing to spend an awful lot of money on the actual minifigures that came in the BrickLink set, when actually what I need is generic builders. And you can buy generic building Lego minifigures for a much more reasonable price. These ones here, I think I paid £2 for all 6 that are scattered around my building. Anyway, without further ado, I'll give you a more in-depth look at what we're dealing with here. So let's take off one of the floors. So the only actual floor that is removable is kind of the top floor. The rest is kind of attached. And as you can see here, we've got a nice, very cool looking workbench with a man sat there working on it and a guy painting. And as it's a building that is complete, you will find some of the windows have got glass, some haven't. And that is intentional, that's part of the set. Okay. And then from the outside, some of it's kind of finished, and the further up you go, of course, it's not finished. One of the major changes I made was on the top floor. I changed the colour of the masonry brick. I'll just put it back on and show it you here. I went with this more sort of nougat colour rather than this colour. The reason being, this colour hasn't been on pad walls for quite a while, and I didn't have much of it. As you can see, I had enough to do 2 floors, whereas that nougat, I've got loads of it. And it was cheap and efficient for me to get more of it because it's on the pad wall. So the top floor of mine changes into a nougat colour, where the original building would stay as this colour all the way throughout. That is the main change I made to this design. I think the only other change I made was the stairwells. I think I changed those 2 to black when they were brown in the original concept. And the reason being, I had brown stairs. Not a biggie for me, doesn't really matter, doesn't take away, doesn't add to the set, but, you know, technically those are adjustments I made. The crane itself uses 3 ladders and lots of these yellow bits, which lately have been on pad walls. So again, I saved myself some money there because I was able to pick those up in pick-a-brick boxes. But there were some parts that were, you know, not easy to get hold of, like the Technic. Some of the Technic pieces on this set I didn't have, I had to purchase. And as you can see on there, we do have a man in our crane operator. He's there, looking very happy with himself, obviously done a wonderful job. Yeah, he's our crane operator. And yeah, that is the top floor. The bottom floor doesn't have a lot of detail in it. There is a man inside there, which you can't really see very well. Let's see if opening these doors makes any difference for you. There is a Lego man in there with a pneumatic drill. Yeah. And he's working on the ground floor. Okay. The ground floor has this nice concept of blue and white tile. Really like what they did there. I really like the outside trims, what they've done here. The brickwork, making it an attractive looking building. And, you know, this really feels like a good building site. At some point, I might increase the crane height 1 more, make it go a little bit higher. But for now, I'm kind of happy with that, the way it is. I've built mine on a mills. Like everything in my city, it's ready to go into a mills. And yes, the crane has full working features. As you can see here, it can turn for me. There's a little handle here which can lower or higher my hook. So I'll just give you an idea. It can, my autofocus, please excuse the mess in my background. Okay, I'm getting ready to start sorting for another project. So yeah, there's the little hook. It's actually come off its 2 wheels, no surprise. I might look at that design on that at some point and improve it, because that does happen quite a bit. So yeah, it is designed. There's my Brompton in the background, by the way. Yes, I'm a Brompton rider. And my recycling that needs to go out. But yes, there's our little hook, and that is operated by a winch on the back. You can higher or lower it and use it to pick things up, like the toilets. Okay, I might add some other things that I wanted to pick up at a later date. The building itself on the ground floor has some other details. It is a working building site, so got someone with a roller press sorting out the concrete, and you know, some tools and so on and so forth. And you know, here's the building on the other side, and yeah, it's a lovely build. This took me probably about 3 hours to build. I spaced it out. I did it over a couple of days, did a couple of bags, then did a couple of bags, just because I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want to do it all in one go. I'm going to put the top floor back on for you and show you that one again. There you go, with the top floor black on, and as you can see, it doesn't really stand out too much, having changed the colour of those masonry bricks to nougat. It doesn't ruin it, but it did lower the cost, which is good. I mean, if you are lucky enough to have an awful lot of those, then go ahead, and at a later date I might find I swap them over, but at the time I had enough to do 2 floors, so I did that. And I thought, I don't really want to order a new colour of masonry in a high volume when I have an awful lot of masonry bricks in my inventory that I should be using. And that is the whole point of my inventory, which is something my wife reminds me of on a regular basis. What is the point in you having all those bricks if you don't like using them because you want to hoard them? And she's right. They're there to be built with. You know, Lego is there to build and to play. And that's why I'll never understand these box collectors, I'm afraid. It's a no from me. But hey, each their own. Not about to tell you what you should do with your money. That would be wrong. You can see here, nice clear view of the guy doing the decorating on the 2nd floor. And yeah, loads of play features in this one. And this is going to be beautiful when I go put it in the city. It is 1.5 base plates, so it's a bit bigger than your standard modular feature. And yeah, it's gonna look wonderful. So let's head on over to the city and see how we look putting this in. So here we are back in the city, and last time you were here you probably saw me building the fantastic Baxter building, fantastic 4x dream build bricks. Anyway, the big news, the change I've decided to make, I'm going to put the construction site in here next to my double corner garage, which I've converted into a hospital. There's a video on that on my page. It's a good one. Go and have a look at it. So yes, my corner garage is going to go there. My corner garage, my building site. Reason for that is I've got over tall buildings in that area. I think that helps it work. Okay. So yeah, that is going to be its final resting home. It's a busy old little street, this one. Very busy. And yeah, there's not been any major changes in my city recently. So it's nice to add something. That meant that the Asda mock, that was still not finished by the way, got moved over there. The double Chinese family reunion restaurant corner that I made. And then Assembly Square got moved into that space there. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of the bits back and then we'll take one final look at it. And then of course next to that is our sit complex. Again, brick artisan for that one, I believe. Yeah. Got some more floors to add to that at some point. I need to start thinking about that. I might do that before the next big project. And I'm not going to tell you what the next project is today. I've decided I'm going to keep it under my hat for a bit longer. Because I'll be honest, it's such a big project that I'm probably not going to get around to starting it before the end of the year. And it, you know, it'll be like everything else where it takes me months to do. And you know, the reality, this is the reality, because I'm building my city with my own budget. I'm a full-time primary school teacher. You know, I've got other responsibilities, children, etc., etc. This is a hobby. You know, so these things cost money. And yeah, can't always just get on and do them as much as I'd like. There's no big YouTube channel funding me. I'm not part of any Lego program where I get sent things for free. This all comes out, and this is purely just because I enjoy building with Lego. So yeah, my next big project might not get done before the end of the year. I do have a roller coaster to build. I've got some BrickLink designer program stuff to do. Some Lion Knights Castle stuff to do. So I have got the next few, probably say months, set up. But I am looking at this next new big project, and moving this around today has reminded me that the sit complex, technically I've got the office set I wanted to put into there. There's some designs for that, and so on and so forth. I've also got Sesame Street. I might utilise, there's a floor for that. So yeah, all of those things add to it. Anyway, back to where we were, enough of me waffling. That is the construction site in its glory, put in on what I like to call Superhero Street. Because obviously the only one missing from here is the X Mansion, which I don't actually like the size of. That's why it's missing. But yes, that's gone in really nicely there, next to my hospital and my sit complex. So I'll put the rest of the bits back and give you one final look. Okay, so the fire stations now we've put in, that is the new addition to our city. Here's how we are looking at the moment. Still quite a lot of work to go on. From the new design that we started last summer, we've still got some spaces, some bits to go in. Some work needs doing. I haven't brought this year's modular street corner, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. Reason is I don't like it much. So there's another thing I need to think about. I think I'm going to have to buy it and bite the bullet at some point. And then I do also need to finish the work on the underground train station that we started last summer. And it's in a bit of a mess at the moment, folks. And the reason is I want to rebalance these boards. I'm not happy with them. So that'll be something I do over the summer this year. And then I've nearly got all the parts actually to, you know, make that and finish that. So that's a good thing. That'll be another video for another day. But yeah, next should be our roller coaster. And we'll take it from there. We will be motorising our roller coaster as well straight away. So that's good. But this gives you an idea how we're looking at the moment. So that's us for today. As you can see in the background, our lovely BrickLink designer construction site, sat there in all its glory. I hope you've enjoyed our video today, and please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, helps us get seen by more people, which ultimately gets me pumping out more videos more often. But here we are in all its glory, built, ready to go, getting there now. Happy with the progress we've made today. Love that design, love it in there, and hope to catch you soon. Anyway, happy building, enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves, and take care.